Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my review for the latest episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi. Let's just jump straight into proceedings with this one, and why not? Okay, yeah, so here we are. Episode 4 of Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Star Wars Adventures in Babysitting Leia. Whatever you want to call it. I say in jest, of course. Now, this episode here, it follows on from the last episode. We catch up with Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's obviously injured from the fight with Vader at the end of the previous episode, where he was dragged through some flames. He's got a lot of scarring on him that does sort of mirror what Vader has got, and you do have these scenes where they flash back and forth between the two, so you can actually see the sort of mirroring of the two. But this is nothing that little time in a BAFTA tank won't cure for Obi-Wan. Anyway, the crux of this episode is a rescue mission. Obi-Wan and Tala has to go and rescue young Leia, who has been caught by the Inquisitors and is being held in this Inquisitor fortress on this water moon. Yeah, so Tala, with her security clearance, decides to go there with Obi-Wan to attempt to get her back. She uses her Imperial stand-in to get into the base. She is questioned along the way, but she manages to get in. Obi-Wan Kenobi, he sneaks in by going for a little swim with the fishes and coming up through this underneath hatch into the base itself, where luckily he doesn't stay too wet very long, so there isn't no watermarks left for people to follow. Anyway, so all while this is going on, young Leia is being questioned by the Inquisitor, who takes a liking to her droid and all this sort of thing. Yeah, you know. So this episode, it looks great. It really does. Again, we get a real sort of a feel for the original Star Wars film in this one, through some of the sets, through the scenery, through this base. It's very reminiscent to stuff we've seen within the Death Star, with droids flying around. There's certain cues in the noises of droids that will bring back memories. They use the little hand microphone things, speaker things that they've used in Star Wars before. There's a lot of this stuff. There's spaceships you'll recognise towards the end. There's snow speeders. All this kind of imagery, sounds, aesthetics that will bring a Star Wars feel back to you. There is a bit of lightsaber play within the episode. You see that Obi-Wan Kenobi is still struggling to use the Force, but it's coming through a bit stronger in this episode, where he managed to hold back this pane of glass that's about to shatter underneath the pressure of water, because it's been hit in a firefight, and ultimately uses the water to drown a load of stormtroopers. Like I said, the Inquisitor takes a liking to the little droid. The droid's got to play a bigger part because Disney have to sell some toys. Yes, that toy is now for sale, and so he's going to play a big part. But we find out at the end of the episode, when the Leia, Tala and Obi-Wan escape on a couple of snow speeders that look like older versions of the snow speeders that we've seen in The Empire Strikes Back, that a tracking device has been fitted, because Vader's had enough of this Inquisitor, female Inquisitor, and he's about to choke her out, but she says that I've put a tracking device. Now, obviously, the tracking device at that point, you know this tracking device isn't on the ship. It's going to be on the little droid. But we're so stupid as audience members that we have to be shown this by the little droid's eyes turning red. Yeah, because we wouldn't have got that otherwise. Because we're all stupid. There was a bit that made me chuckle, which is the bit where Obi-Wan and Tala's trying to escape underneath, and Obi-Wan's got Leia underneath this massive big coat that he's wearing. It just looked comical. It looks like a scene out of a comedy. It really does. Yeah, this episode, again, directed by Deborah Chow. Now, she's doing a great job in the directing for the most part, but there are these questionable comedic scenes in the early episodes. Obviously we had the forest scene with Leia running away, and in this episode it's that coat scene. There's always this questionable idea in an episode that feels so out of place and so sort of silly in the way it's done. And yeah, comical is all I can say. But all in all, it's a well fast-paced episode again. Considerable amount of action within there. Great special effects. You know, the underwater city, when Obi-Wan's going for an underwater swim, that looks really good. You see creatures you've not seen before. True sort of Star Wars fashion, this episode. And it is really, really good, even though, like I said, there are some flaws within it that I can draw to and take out. Vader, like I said, he makes an appearance. It ain't a very big appearance in this episode. No lightsaber dueling from him or anything like that. But thoroughly enjoyable. The only criticism I really have of this series thus far is there's no real story. I don't know if you've noticed that. It's stuff happening. It is stuff happening, but there's no real story to it. And again, I know I'm sounding like I'm being critical, but I've noticed it, but it doesn't bother me because I'm enjoying seeing Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I think that this still remains at the moment the strongest Star Wars series out of all of them, and most definitely the most cinematic and the most expensive looking Star Wars series out of the Star Wars series that we've been given, topping even Mandalorian. Yeah, it's just overall very good, and I love it. And I hope they do more with Ewan McGregor as this character. I really do. But anyway, so that's it. Just my quick thoughts on this first episode. Tell me the stuff that you liked. Tell me the stuff you didn't like. Hit the subscribe button. And let's talk Star Wars. That's what we're here for. Good, bad. I can take it. You know, we all have different opinions on stuff. And that's what I like about talking to people. I like hearing a different view. I like hearing the same view. But I like hearing a different view as well. So come over, chat to me, and let's talk Star Wars. This is AJ. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Take care all. Goodbye.